Oh, hello, Mr. Hamor. Hi, Brian.
What's going on, JB? Good to see you.
Brian Hamor, it is a pleasure. It's an honor. A real life good friend, a former colleague. We were in the trenches together, but I have the pleasure of knowing who you are. Why don't you tell the OhHello audience, the OhHello community of mentees, mentors, business people, who are you? Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, so originally grew up in upstate New York, Albany area. One of four boys, the youngest. So grew up getting beat up, got duct taped to a wall one time too. That's a story for another day.
We've got time, Brian. Brian, we've got time. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. So in terms of life, the first 26 years of my life were dedicated to basketball. So I played high school, college, been overseas for a few years. And I really didn't know much else besides that. That was my true passion. So I was 26, entered the business world, dabbled in medical sales for a bit, then started a company in Boston called Play Easy. So it was a company that helped connect big event organizers. So people looking to host like tournaments for sports we connected them to find sporting rinks, courts, fields. And for 2 years, we made $0 in revenue. And today it's making 7 figures bootstrapped. So that story is an awesome one. After that, ended up joining Marpipe with you as the first sales hire. So we helped them go from 0 to 5 million in a couple years. And that first 8 months was insane, pivoting, doing all these different pivots with the startup world. Ended up going ahead of sales there. And now I am the founder of BuyerExperience. We are a feedback platform to help companies learn why they're losing deals and then how to win those deals back.
And one of the reasons that I wanted you to come on this, and it is specifically because of the ideation of rebounding, the ideation of so many people, so many sales leaders, so many marketing leaders, so many executives, whether you're at the CEO level, CRO level, CFO level, when they're looking at numbers and they're looking at data, they don't necessarily think about something that you have been so conscious of since we worked with each other, of knowing specifically, well, why did we lose that deal? What happened in the very, very beginning? And the way that you've always thought about that since we met each other and started working with each other 4.5, nearly 5 years ago is because of the way that you think about the buyer experience and what happens in the very beginning. So let's talk about the rebound effect. Let's talk about specifically just that, what buyer experience is doing. And then we'll just jump more into just leadership and mentorship and go from there.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because it started when I was at a board meeting with the VCs. And for like 3 slides, we were talking about filling the funnel, outbound. Hey, what are we doing for content? What are we doing for paid ads? What are the SDRs doing? Like, what are our conversion rates? Probably spent like 20 minutes talking about that. And then it got to the slide of like, hey, like, why are we losing deals? And there was just like a bar chart that said like budget, timing, went to a competitor. And then the VC was like, yeah, well, why are we losing deals? And I couldn't really answer that question. And I was like, that's pretty insane. I would talk about like millions of dollars spent to build the pipeline. We all know that 80% go to close loss. And all we have is just a bar chart with no feedback from the buyer. I'm like, how was the sales experience? What competitors did you evaluate? Who did you end up choosing? Why did you choose them? Then lastly, like, is there anything we could improve that would get you back in the funnel later? So now I started interviewing a bunch of sales leaders, marketing leaders, and no one was really capturing this data and doing it in a way that scaled. So that's where the original concept came with BuyerExperience, to capture that data, but then also fill that funnel back with deals that were still interested.
Who is if you don't mind saying, who is the VC that asked you this question?
I don't remember the exact VC. You might know better than me off camera, because there's like the board has like 7 different people that I don't remember exactly.
Totally.
And it was Stage 2 Capital though. Was the
got
VC.
it. So it's probably Jay Poe or Liz Christo at the time.
Yeah, that could have been
That's awesome. Yeah. That just and good to know, because they thought about things and they think about things in such a different kind of lens.
They're amazing.
That really helped me and really helped train the way that I was thinking about metrics. You were a college basketball player. You played professionally overseas. How did that shape your actual approach to leadership?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is just adapting to different people. I think leadership's not like a one size fits all. Like some people are motivated by different things. Some people are just like super money driven. Some people like an atmosphere of like a team atmosphere, going motivated by autonomy, motivated by all these things. So I think for me, it's just adapting to different personality types and learning like what motivates that individual person. And I think in basketball, it's not only like the verbal things you learn in basketball, but also the nonverbal. So when I was playing in Spain, I was the only that no one could speak English.
Sure.
But it's funny, you develop these relationships with people that you can barely even speak with because you can see how they respond to the teammates. You can see how they respond to coaching. And you just like get this energy from them, like, wow, this seems like a really good dude. Like people gravitate towards them. And so in terms of being a leader, it's just like nonverbal cues, how you motivate other people, and just like adapting to each individual.
Yeah, you are an incredibly adaptive person and very flexible in the way that you learn and ask questions. As someone who partnered up with you and worked with you and brought you on, managed you, and just have seen you grow, I would say one of your superpowers, also just being an entrepreneur for the past several years, is the fact that you have this genuine curiosity and you ask legit questions and you ask the black and white questions that a lot of people are just too timid to perhaps ask because you're curious and you want to help them get to the solution, and you just get rid of the bullshit that comes in between. You're able to knock down those hurdles. So this was fun hearing your response of how you correlate your basketball career to your sales leadership and commercial experience.
Yeah, it's even off that, I appreciate that was nice of you to say. I also learned a lot from you too, and I'm not saying this for the podcast, just like in all honesty, I always want to work for people that I could in the business sense or even basketball, work with people. So in a business setting, working with people I could learn from. So going in there, obviously you come from Adobe and leading like North America. I was like, oh, this would be a great experience to learn under Jeremy. And I think one thing I learned from you is just how much in a remote setting you got other people involved. So I think it's really easy in a remote setting to like stick to your schedule. Like everyone's at home doing their own thing. But I think you were so good at keeping everyone updated on the day to day. Like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what's going on in this deal. So engineering knew what was going on in sales. Product knew what was going on in sales. Marketing knew what was going on in sales. So just watching that kind of helped me learn like, oh, what I'm doing as an individual and like hitting quota and numbers matters. Well, actually what matters more, especially as like you're going to your careers, like how do you get other people involved and on the same page? So even from that level, like learning under you and working with you there, that helped a ton. So
thank you for saying that. I genuinely appreciate it. That's meaningful. Thank you. You've been the first seller and you've been a co-founder. You're now a founder of a company of BuyerExperience, BuyerExperience.io. When you think about what you've learned about yourself and the art of being able to just organically pivot when you're talking to colleagues, when you're talking to new hires, when you're talking to new clients, what are just some areas that you've picked up on from an empathetic perspective of just over the past several years?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually just had this conversation yesterday with someone, and it really comes down to preparation. Like even before with you, when I interviewed with you, I listened to you on 3 different podcasts. I looked at your LinkedIn. I tried to find articles on you. Like I wanted to know Jeremy before I stepped into that interview. And even yesterday, I had a meeting with the CMO of a 9-figure company yesterday, and I prepared for like 2 days. I listened to her on podcasts. I looked at her LinkedIn posts. But during that meeting, in terms of adapting, that meeting lasted 12 minutes. Within 12 minutes, she was like, hey, like, I'll make an intro. This sounds great. I didn't show 90% of the things I prepared for, but I was ready for where that conversation went. So if she was interested in a certain use case or topic, like I had examples to show her. So I think to your point, empathy is also in preparation. I'm like, if you understand and care about people's time, then you'll prepare yourself to be ready for those conversations. And I think empathy isn't always just words, it's also the actions.
It's a great call out. Do you think your experience of having to constantly wake up, set your alarm, be fit, travel for basketball, travel throughout college, like, do you think that helped in just watching tape, so to speak, watching how your competitors would play, watching how your team, strengths and weaknesses of your own team when you were playing basketball? Do you think that helped shape you in the way of just the actual preparation of how you think as an executive and as a founder now?
Yeah, that was kind of like the bar. Like that was normal to me. So stepping in and like going through a scouting report and seeing like, oh, this person shoots 30% when he dribbles to the left, but when he dribbles to the right, he shoots 60%. Oh, I got to force this person left. Oh, when this person comes off a ball screen, like knowing all these little details was normal, and going into every game and knowing this level was normal. So I think preparing for like a sales call, like it was just taking that same framework in sports and just using that in the business world. And like, yeah, you're going to prepare the same way, whether it's like researching their competitors, researching that individual person, researching that market, like researching potential problems they're having and how we solve them. I think going into those meetings, the same framework.
So how has mentorship shaped you, and how do you pay it forward now as a founder and as someone who's creating this amazing platform with your clients, with your team as you're building?
Yeah, I think mentorship is amazing because everyone has this like belief bar based on like your childhood and what you've been around growing up. Like if you grew up around like billionaires and you saw people with like planes stuff, like you thought that was the norm. If you grew up and didn't have a lot of money, like you think that's the norm. That's kind of like your belief bar. So a lot of times in mentorship, you are trying to be with people that are where you want to be. And now it's like a fast track. It's like the Google Maps. It's like you don't have a map unless you speak with someone. So for me, like being able to speak with some people that have achieved what I want to achieve, they're now laying the path of like, here's how I did it. Now I have access to ask them like, hey, how much money did you save? Like, what did you do with your paychecks? How much were you making? Like topics that you just don't see and talk about on social media. They're very personal topics. And you only get that through mentorship. So I think that is something that people don't talk about. It's like the path is the most important thing, and being able to visualize and see someone who's actually achieved it.
I love that term that you just used of belief bar. We've now recorded over 100 episodes, and thinking through like just the visualization of how you explained it. I'm not surprised that you brought this up, but just when you're able to plan it out, when you're able to surround yourself with the right people, and when you map out, henceforth going back to preparation, it matters. It really matters. Who are some mentors throughout your life so far, whether they were coaches, business executives, people personally, professionally, that have just made a big impact on you?
Yeah, I think first my dad. I mean, my dad coached me my whole life playing basketball. He worked for the state. So he'd work his state job, get home at 5.
The state of New York at the time.
The state of New York.
Boston now.
Yep, exactly. So he'd work for the state, he'd get home, he'd run basketball practice. Then he was a volunteer running a CYO, all the basketball leagues. So I'd wake up Saturday morning, I'd be at the gym all day, I'd work in sessions, I'd see him run all these things. So I think just watching my dad wake up and do those things every single day and give back and volunteer, like that's something as you get older, you start to appreciate, just like showing up every single day, being super involved in my life. So from a mentor standpoint, like seeing that is amazing. And then in a business sense, like you were I already mentioned this, but like you were one of my mentors too, just like watching the things you did daily. Like that's just how I learn. And then besides that, sports people like the Derek Jeters of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world, the people that I always admire, people that can make $100 million+ and still show up, wake up at 5 a.m., still care about their diet, still show up for their family, still be a good leader, still be a good teammate, put that ego to the side. So I think it all comes down to like watching and attaching myself to the people that I admired and wanted to be like. But I think those are like the top few that I can pick up.
That's really great feedback, and thank you for the nice compliment. What are some different core values? You've touched on some of them, but the core values that have helped you shape how you're looking at buyer experience, what you're building out, how you want to help it, because the way that I see, I'm asking you a question, but I want to jump in actually. The way that I see that you're building this platform, and one of the reasons why I wanted to feature you as someone that a lot of people, a lot of sellers look up to, a lot of younger founders look up to because of your rigor, but the way that you think and what core values helped shape how you're building buyer experience and what your goal is over time with buyer experience. And because of the way that you assess and talk to so many different prospects, I would think that is somewhat of an unlock that made this so stupid apparent for you to go after this.
Yeah, I think it's really just one, and it's really trustworthy. Like, whether you're a seller, whether you're a friend, whether you're a parent, like, are you trustworthy? As a seller, when you say you're gonna do something, do you do it? Do you follow up on time? Do you actually like send that proposal within the hour? Do you show up prepared for those calls? And I think for me, it's understanding that sellers are commissioned, and a lot of buyers don't trust the sellers when they show up because they know they're trying to sell. So proving to them that you can be trustworthy and that you're in it for them is kind of the main thing and the main driver. Like, we see a huge correlation between, we ask a question and we say, hey, how did the sales process and sales rep live up to expectations? Exceeded, met, below, or significantly below. There's a massive correlation between exceeded expectations and yes, I'm still interested to reach back out. So like we're even seeing in terms of trust, like when people trust the sales rep and say someone exceeded expectations, we see like 70% of those say yes, reach back out, because it might just have been timing, waiting for a feature integration, like something specific. So like that's probably the main core value that is kind of drives everything we create.
Great response. What's next for B2B growth? How do you see platforms like OhHello making an impact from the operator standpoint, from mid-level management to people new in their career? When you think about just getting expert advice, when you think about mentorship, when you think about access, when you think about everything that we've been speaking through?
Yeah, I think if you're young, you got to be in the skill acquisition business. Like you have to develop skills, because now AI can do a lot of those things. I mean, a lot of people are scared about AI replacing jobs, of course. But AI also needs a human to put in these prompts, to know what good looks like, to know what great looks like. So if you're someone is high skill and it has a bunch of skills or is a deep expert in something, then AI becomes a superpower. So for anyone new, like, what skills do you need to acquire to now get AI leverage? So I think without skill, AI doesn't do too much. But once you have the skill and you know what great looks like, whether it's sales skills, questioning skills, being able to ask great questions, being able to dissect deals, marketing, whatever that skill is, like that's always the main thing. So whether it's reading books, mentors, skill acquisition is probably the top thing right now.
I want to end on that note, Brian. This has been a fantastic conversation. I'm so proud of you, just everything that you're accomplishing. It's badass, and I'm so excited for you to continue building BuyerExperience. And skill acquisition is something at any age, any level at any age, at any level within someone's career, that is so stupid important to never give up on. Whether you are 22 or 82, acquiring new skills keeps you sharp. So, great way to end. Thank you, my friend. Go to your next meeting. We will catch up soon.
Thanks, JB. Everyone.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everybody.